So these puppies were surrendered to the shelter because their mother was not taking care of them. The client services staff immediately notified me. I was able to take a quick look at the puppies, make sure they at least looked healthy and were able to be bottle fed. And then from that point, our foster transfer coordinator jumped in and was able to get these animals out into foster immediately.
In comes an email. There had just been dropped off 5-day-old puppies at the Humane Society and they were looking for fosters. So we ran down there and we had them out of the Humane Society within 3 hours of them being dropped off.
With young bottle babies, which is what we refer to as puppies that don't have their mother with them, that we have to bottle feed, just because of their young age, they're very susceptible to disease. They also need to be kept warm and obviously fed very frequently.
They were as sweet as could be, but we could tell that they were also very vulnerable. And so we sat down and assigned each one of us a 3-hour shift. And we continued with that process for the next 2 weeks. It was truly a labor of love.
Our fosters are their mother. They're taking care of them around the clock.
We are so grateful to have known who adopted Nova. It is a family friend of my daughter's.
It's been pretty great having a puppy in my home for the first time. I'm really, I guess, proud of her in a way, like just that she's so good with people and she's such like a cheerful dog and just has this incredible energy about her, and the fact that I get to be her owner is, I feel like I got really lucky with her. They depend on you for everything and you're there for them, and then they give so much love back just unconditionally. They really are like a part of your family, and so adopting a puppy and raising them like that, it's like starting a little family.
So when Lily first came to us, obviously the first thing that we saw was that she was 22 years old. And our first thought was, wow, that, first of all, is that right? And we verified that, in fact, yes, she is 22 years old. So we did what we do for every other animal, did a physical exam. Nothing really stood out. She was in great shape.
So the owners were having some health issues, and that's why Lily was surrendered. And I know it was a very emotional decision for them. When Lily went up for adoption, she was there for the first week and then the second week, and we were a little concerned. Definitely a 22-year-old cat requires a very specific family that's ready to take on that kind of challenge. And then Eric and Annette came in and they said that they wanted to visit with Lily, and all of us at the front desk were so excited.
We always have room for an old cat. That's kind of how we operate.
People, I think, overlook older animals. We'll say goodbye to her sooner than we would of a kitten. I mean, she'll give us as much love in the time that we have with her as any other animal that we've ever had.
What we expect in the way of love back from her is just that she will come and sit with us and purr and let us pick her up.
I think with a 22-year-old cat, every day is precious, and we want them, as much love as we give them in the shelter, we want them to be in a home environment.
We work with a bunch of towns and cities in Lamar County. One of those is Berthoud. What they did is they gave us a call and said, hey, we need help. There's about 20 dogs in a house that finally someone has made a complaint about. And we went out together on July 11th, and doors wouldn't open, but every time you knocked on the door, boom! There's all kinds of barking, and you could smell it from the road, and we got inside. And well, it wasn't 20 dogs. It was, we were guessing about 50. Well, at the end, it turned out to be like 69 dogs. But wow, the smell was intense. All the dogs looked similar. They all look similar because it all started from 2 little dogs, unaltered dogs got together, and then they made a bunch more and more and more and more and more. You never would have guessed that that was going on. The house was beautiful. They were living in this ammonia-soaked, filth-ridden house. So we worked together with the shelter side and came up with a plan. It was hard on the animals. So we tried, well, hard on the women too, of course, but these animals have never been outside. They've never seen the sky. They never walked on grass. It was hard for them. So what we tried to do is have as little stress as possible for these guys. An officer would go in, we'd get them and come out. So it wouldn't be a bunch of officers with catch poles and nets scooping them up. That's too traumatic and stressful for them, for these animals. We brought them back to the shelter.
And literally as they arrived off of the animal protection and control vehicles, we had 2 lines of volunteers and staff prepared to get them out of their crates, put identification numbers on them on collars, vaccinate them, take pictures of them, give them dewormer, find them kennel space in the building. We also had our veterinarian doing physical exams on entry.
When the Chihuahuas arrived at the shelter, we were able to examine most of them pretty quickly. Overall, we were surprised that they were in pretty good medical condition.
We did see a lot of dogs that had fearful behavior, most likely due to the fact that they didn't get the same kind of socialization experience early on.
The health of the animals we care for is our #1 priority. And in this case, we provided vaccinations and exams for over 60 animals in just 1 day. Without the support of the community, we would not be able to continue to provide those resources for those animals when they need it most. For example, Joe was one Chihuahua that had severe dental disease and needed several extractions.
We went into the little meet and greet room where we were able to play with him, just the 2 of us, and I sat on the floor, and the very first thing he did was sit in my lap. He kind of chose us.
But he had to have a lot of teeth removed, and the Humane Society just took care of it. So when we got him, he was up and ready and healthy and ready to go and ready to be a dog again.
Dog he was when we first got him. He was very shy. Over the course of weeks and even months, he kind of gradually remembered how to be a dog.
Love is being able to provide the care and compassion that these animals needed in a critical time in their lives.
Love is giving without any expectations of receiving.
Love means a warm puppy licking your nose to wake you up in the middle of the night.
Love is spending time going on walks, one-on-one time.
Love just means family, and he's part of the family now.
Love is Joe.
Love is commitment.
Love is forever.
Love is family.
Love is being there for both people and animals in the community when they need us.
Someone to love them, someone to care for them. I think that's all they want. They just need love. All they need is love.